Something quite spectacular for you now. You may have heard of rice writing. It's a miniature art form that's been around for hundreds of years. Raja Saif, a lawyer from Papakura who reckons he has abnormal eyesight, is here to show off his skills and even try to write my name on a grain. Well, welcome to us, the show, Raja. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
You have abnormally good, I suspect, eyesight.
Yeah, you can say it's, should not call it abnormal, but I think I concentrate in an abnormal manner on the rice grains. And everybody who has the desire to do this thing and with the determination in the mind, he can do this.
How did you get into this?
Art was my passion since my childhood. I'm a lawyer by profession. But I always wanted to do something creative, so I used to do portraits on the paper. I used to do portraits in oil, water, and different mediums. I used to make sculptures. And then I thought to do something which is unique. I mean, if you get the statistics from all over the world in your country, so you would find thousands of people doing art in the oil, water. But if you see this sort of micro-miniature, should I call it, you would only find about few persons in a country who were doing this sort of art.
This sort of art. I see you attach the rice to a piece of card, obviously, to work on. A lot of people, and I would have assumed too, that you would have used a microscope or something.
No, I would clarify here that you cannot use a microscope. There's a logic behind this. If you try to use a microscope, then the thing with object, I mean rice, it seems to be 40 times larger than the original size, but in reality it is not. So the brain gives a message to the hand that yes, the hand can move 1 inch, and when you move the hand 1 inch, the rice becomes a blob of paint.
Exactly, you're well off your target canvas. How long does it take you to do a portrait on the grain of rice?
A portrait takes about 40 to 45 minutes if I have to make a portrait of some specific person, because what I do, the procedure behind is that I do draw that portrait on a piece of paper first, 2 or 3 times, and when it is...
At that scale?
No. Not on just paper. I make a portrait. So it gets scanned in my mind, it gets saved in my mind, and then I have to do the same portrait on a rice grain with a very limited canvas place and with a very considerate, calculated, specific mind, and then I do it on rice.
Let me write can you write my name on a piece of rice? Have you got one there handy?
Yes, of course I can.
There it is, it's Pippa. And do you get a headache or anything like that concentrating on such a tiny little speck of rice for so long?
I couldn't get to say again, please.
You don't get headaches or anything like that from concentrating for so long?
No, I do not, because I've told you this is my passion, and because when you are in something which is your passion, so you don't take it as a work, you take it as something you enjoy working in that field. So I never have this problem.
Right, amazing. I'll let you get on with that. I know that you have done some amazing portraits, including one of the Queen here. Maybe we'll get Paul Cam out. Can we get the Paul Cam
I didn't know I was going to be called on
Queen here?
in my capacity as a cameraman. It'll take a while to get this sorted.
This is going to...
It's very... Oh, hang on. We're just about in focus. There we are. That is the Queen.
That is the Queen. Oh, wow, that was so quick. And the name is written as well. Let me just...
Okay, I'll move from the Queen, which you haven't quite seen yet. There's the Queen.
There's the Queen.
As you can see.
That is amazing, the
With
Queen.
a beard.
The detail. Wow.
And now we'll just move to Pippa.
That's the name.
Wow, that is amazing. And if I can do my cameraing quite well...
Would you like to be able to pass the portrait of the Queen on to the Queen? Have you any opportunity arisen for you to pass on your portraits to famous people?
Yes, I have been studying in England in 2001. I did my law from there. And I think in future, if I get a chance, I'll love to present the portrait of the Queen to Queen, because in Pakistan, I have presented the portrait of Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Pakistan, Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry, who has got a lot of struggle for the independence of the judiciary, and he was quite delighted to see his own portrait on a grain of rice.
Well, amazing.
Who's this man here? Who's this? Who is this? on this piece of rice?
It's just
Osama bin
just a
Laden.
portrait of a Mughal king.
Mughal king. That was the one that
right.
we've just had produced for us on the breakfast show. Thank you very much. You are very talented.
That's fantastic.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's fantastic.
Fascinating, isn't it? Raja Saif Rehman.
A lot of lawyers are abnormal. But abnormal sight is probably one of the better things. Abnormally good sight is probably one of the better things. And, of course, it's not surprising that a lawyer should be involved in rice art because they spend their lives studying the fine print.
Oh.
I know, I thought that up very early on and I thought, how can I weave that in? But that's marvellous, isn't it? Only a couple of people in the country can do that.
No, very talented.
I don't know how many would
very
be too many. Well, how many would be too many rice artists? 5? In a country the size of New Zealand, 5 would be enough, wouldn't it? But 2 is not very many.